welcome back to the Shreve, Crump Low YouTube channel. My name is Jack Tyler.
I'm Christopher Weiss.
And today we're going to do something really nuts. We are going to create our own $250,000 collection using the watches that are here on the floor today.
So $500,000 in total, $250,000 a piece.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thinking about independent brands, I'm thinking about Laurent Ferrier, I'm thinking of things that you might not buy as your only watch, but if you've got $250,000, you're really gonna start to explore. I also really wanna make sure I come in under budget. I was able to do it last time. I wanna make sure I can do it this time so that Jack doesn't make fun of me.
So for me, when we're talking about a collection of this value, I think it would be remiss not to have a Patek in there, and this is kind of the ultimate one for me.
We're at $250,000 today. This is a little out of control. The imagination is racing. I feel like I wanna go straight for Patek, but I also think Jack's gonna go there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna one-up him, and I'm gonna go Journe.
All right, so we have made our picks. I gotta say, we've got some really heavy hitters here,
This tray is outrageous.
Yeah, this is totally nuts. I remember you had to carry this down the stairs. I felt bad for him. There's so much money on here. But
I was like, please open the door for me. I'm gripping.
But this is cool. It's always fun to get to put something together with, hypothetical money.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, what do we have first on the table here?
Well, any keen-eyed viewer is noticing that there are 5 pieces on the table. There are 2 of us. So one of us has got 3 watches, one of us has got 2. You picked 3 watches.
I did pick 3.
I was gonna pick a third, but then I was gonna go over budget.
Right,
So,
which is par for the course.
It is. I mean, this happens sometimes. It's not my money. Well, first off, let me ask you, did you have a collecting philosophy here? Like in the past, we've been trying to do like dress watch, sports watch, something watch, or whatever it was. Or did like these rules and methodologies go completely out the window because your eyes turned green?
I guess a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a good question though. I don't know. I was just thinking, if you have that kind of money, right, and you want to consolidate it into something really special, you want to consolidate it into something that's also cohesive, So yeah, I guess I was thinking in terms of a collection, but obviously, again, with that kind of money, thinking more elevated, like not the stuff that you're necessarily going to see every day. And my philosophy, even in my own collection, has always been like, less is more, right?
Less is more.
I agree. Have something that's really, really going to stand the test of time in your collection. Because obviously, with $250,000, I mean, we could have bought a lot of Omegas.
We could have bought all of the Omegas.
we had 20 watches each on the table here, but. I was also thinking of the mindset of somebody who has that kind of disposable income. They're gonna want to get stuff that's special.
I agree.
Like Rolex. Okay.
What?
All right. What about you? Did you think about collectors, or were you just like, each watch as its own?
I mean, I basically just went to the Shreve website and sorted our inventory most expensive to least expensive, and I picked the top 2.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, no, I didn't really do that. But no, I did think a little bit about it, but you're right. I mean, I wanted to pick pieces that were just so special. I think I picked 2 that are going to get me a dress watch and a more casual watch, although some might argue I picked 2 dress watches, and those people can kiss my what.
Your casual watch is usually a dress
There you go. All right. What's your first pick?
Cool. So this is a piece that I've always been really fascinated with, and I've actually wanted to include in the previous challenges, but the price was, a little prohibitive.
Yeah.
So this is a Laurent Ferrier Sport Audio
in titanium.
Titanium, which is really, really, really special. And this is one of those watches that, you have, I don't want to say run of the mill, but you have like the expected integrated steel sports watches. And again, thinking about having that kind of money to put into a watch collection, you want something that like kind of stands a little bit above that in terms of rarity. We've said this before on the channel, but like you see this watch on somebody, this is not their only watch.
No.
They know a lot about watches.
They do.
To be putting the kind of money that this piece is worth, which comes in at almost $70,000.
Yeah.
$69,000 bucks.
Yeah.
They know something. right? But just in terms of aesthetics, this hits a lot of points for me. I think it's funny that it's a sport auto is the name of the watch, which
Right.
if you thought about that and you thought an integrated steel sports watch, you're thinking it's probably gonna be a chronograph.
Right.
But it's not. It's
Yeah.
not. But for me, what I think makes it so cool is the fact that there's so many automotive design elements in the watch without it being like Porsche design or something that's like really
Correct.
on the nose.
Correct.
And to me, one of the things I love about Laurent Ferrier is it's very romantic, but at the same time, I think they've done a great job of balancing it and giving it, more of an edge with this particular piece.
Like a little bit of a modern flair to it. Laurent Ferrier with the race car history in his life. You definitely see that in these watches. I look at titanium and I think not just a cool or difficult material to work with, but that the color on it, when paired with this blue dial, is so beautiful.
Yeah, it really does stand out.
I love the unique shape in the case that Ferrier uses on almost all of his pieces. They are distinctive. You can't mistake them for anything else.
Sure.
We talk a lot about the idea that if you were to remove a brand's name from the watch, could you identify it instantaneously?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's done a wonderful job of creating a brand DNA that has a timelessness about it, even though it's not that old of a brand, which I think is something that should definitely be celebrated. The last thing I'll say about this watch, which I could talk about for much longer, is that my favorite part of this watch is the date window.
Yeah, well, how so?
Well, I mean, not the placement, or the fact that it even has a date window.
It does.
But just that like scoop into it is so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And like the fact that it has this little curvature on the other side of it, it actually kind of segments the dial in a really, really unique way.
It does. Well, you get this little bracket that surrounds the date, and then it brackets off before the actual date window, so you have like this geometry of the printing on the dial that leads your eye into the date.
It's an incredibly balanced piece, and I think just shows his mastery as a watchmaker, for sure. So yeah, that would be my first pick.
That's a great first pick. I got you beat.
Oh, really?
I got you beat.
Okay.
I'm pulling out all the stops for my first pick. You went. Look,
pull away.
You have a great pick.
Yeah, I know.
That's nice.
I'm well aware.
Yeah, mine's better. So, first pick. I only got two, folks. I had to go big because otherwise I'm going to lunch. First pick for me, I'm doing the dress watch. If you've watched all these videos, you know that I'm a big dress watch guy. If you watch collection videos, if you see anything that we do on social media, you know I love dress watches. There's a brand that I love, Jack, but that I don't really let myself dream about too much because I just can't afford them.
Okay.
So
I know which one of the
you know
two
which
that
one
is.
it is. It's the FP Journe. I think about dials. I think I'm a big font dork. I love fonts. I love the layout. I love asymmetry. I love it when it's balanced asymmetry. I love hand finishing. And I love a very high level of artistry.
Sure.
And Journe does all of those things. So I brought out the Octa, the annual calendar. This one's in platinum because why not, right?
Sure.
We have a beautiful example of how Journe does his dials in the most pure way. The coloring, the off-centered time, the font, the hands that taper, almost like this kind of like biometric or biotech kind of thing. Like it's like tech forward, but it's also really organic looking.
Sure.
The blued hands.
Yeah.
We have the black polished accents around the dial with the visible screws. We have the gray, we have the silver. I mean, it's just like, it's everything you could want in a Journe and maybe just a touch more. And that's why it's $175,000. But I mean, solid gold movement, automatic winding, really easy to set. And you know what? For an annual calendar, right? These are pretty cool. This one is completely legible.
With anything with Journe, I always feel like there's a level of practicality that his watches have that doesn't often get mentioned. Like you're talking about legibility, you're talking about usability. I think that, yeah, it's a great watch that you literally could wear every day if you're comfortable wearing that kind of money on your wrist.
Yep.
You know, despite all of the beautiful aesthetics, at the end of the day, it's just a great watch.
It's a great watch.
Yeah.
So I think that this could be the dress watch for your life.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's actually my next pick.
Or mine,
the same
if
way.
you have extra money and you don't know what to do with it, Venmo me.
There you go. Wow, nice pick, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a great watch.
All right. So you got another one. Where are you going?
So I was kind of thinking along the same lines, apparently, and I wanted to just get like the dress watch and all dress watches, which for me is probably always going to be a Patek.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Okay, so this was the 3970p, platinum perpetual calendar chronograph. It's the kitchen sink in this beautifully sized 36mm case. I mean, it's just something that really only Patek can do.
Yeah.
And again, thinking about the customer that's got, you know, $250,000 to spend on watches, like this is a subtle watch, right? It's platinum, you know, from across the room, you're not going to know that it's a precious metal.
Yep.
And it's just perfection. It's perfection for this level of complication. And if you have this watch, like really, what else? What else do you need?
You really don't need anything else.
No, this says it all. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, there's so much that's already been said about the lineage of this particular piece. I don't want to repeat myself other than, yeah, this is the ultimate in my opinion.
So my dress watch pick was slightly more on the avant-garde side, right?
Absolutely.
You went ultra traditional, and I don't know that anyone can do a traditionally styled perpetual calendar better than this design. And
Exactly.
You add a chronograph to it on top of that. You do all this in 36 millimeters.
I know. And for me, it's the size that really does it for me. Like I love the Journe. I'm imagining myself as having this kind of money, and like the 36 millimeters is just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
It really is. It's a stunning watch. The balance on the dial is exquisite. It also is legible, right? It's a smaller watch. It's more classically sized, but it's completely legible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the back of that.
You can't stop.
I mean, that's better than the Journe.
Oh, okay.
I won't lie. I think that's better.
All right. Well,
I think it's better.
I will certainly take that. All right. Well, I guess we kind of saved our personal best for last. So no big surprise here. I know what you picked for your second.
Well, I'm going with a Lange and Zona. It's no surprise. This is the 1815 chronograph. This is in the boutique edition, right? Okay, so this is blueprinting on the dial. Ooh, but that's big for Lange, right? They didn't print in black. Blueprinting on the dial, white gold chronograph. This is my sports watch.
Okay.
I do dress watch with Journe. I do sports watch with Lange. We actually did a separate video on this, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. We did a really cool off-the-cuff video where I waxed poetically about this and begged somebody to buy it for me. So far, it hasn't happened, but I just love that this is a watch that, with the blueprinting, doesn't take itself too seriously, right? It's sporty. I think it's really versatile, and I mean, my goodness, you flip this over.
It is gorgeous.
I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, it's a beautiful movement.
So I think that from the backside, your Patek might win over my Journe, but I think from this view, I think that this wins on the table.
Again, for me personally, it's too big. But
it is.
I have no. I mean, but for like 99% of people, they would never have that same opinion.
Yeah.
What I like about this watch is, with my incredible crippling obsessive compulsive disorder, this is one of the very few watches that has the subdial set lower. That doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I think they really are. They have mastered asymmetrical dials.
Lange, the attention to detail and everything they do, especially just the smallest adjustments to proportion, everything on the dial is exquisite.
Yeah, because it's funny, because as it was coming out of my mouth that watch would be too big for me, I was thinking if they size that down, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, like I can see it in my mind that the subdials being closer together and being offset, it would drive me nuts. But for some reason, in that orientation, it's great.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful watch.
There we go.
All right.
Well, we know what my last pick was going to be. I think we all know what Jack's last pick is going to be. And so we can just say right now that I win. No, seriously. Your last pick is reasonable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
What'd you get?
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking, is I wanted something that this is, you know, when you're not comfortable wearing $100,000 plus on your wrist, you want kind of a daily driver, which this is still a very expensive daily driver.
It is.
But I've said it before that the GMT for me it's the most versatile Rolex sports watch. Yeah. This, especially in the two-tone with the yellow gold, great with a suit. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is.
And this is still like a great weekender too. And I love this watch. I'm so excited to see these. I mean, these just got released,
they did.
You know, not that long ago. And I had concerns. I actually had concerns about Rolex. Yeah, write it down. About the gray and the black. But you know what?
In person,
it works great.
It does look cool.
It works great. And like such a fun watch. This is the travel watch. This is the everyday. Out of this collection, I don't know. It spoke to me. It made sense.
I think that the gray and the black is particularly well suited with the two-tone because it lets the gold really shine and it keeps everything else out of the way. So it's like we talk about balance, we talk about proportion, we talk about colors working with or against each other. And this is an example where the black and the gray around the bezel really suits the watch in its entirety.
Yeah, wow. I'm going to just replay that part of this video over and over again.
And the gray around the bezel really suits the watch in its entirety. Black and the gray around the bezel really
What do you think? What was your favorite overall collection? What was your favorite watch? Was there something that you thought that we missed that we should have added into these crazy expensive collections? Please leave your comments below.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel. We love making these videos.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun, if you can't tell. And we're going to do some more. We've got a crazy one coming up.
We do.
You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, you know, so what we're going to do, we've done these videos, these dream collections, right? Our first one, let's be honest, a reasonable video. We've kind of gotten progressively more and more out of control at $250,000 today, $500,000 on the table.
Yeah.
Our next up, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to close out this little mini series with a big bang. We're going to do the two of us collaborating together on a single collection for $1 million.
It's going to be a lot of Rolexes.
What?
We love doing this and we want to do more. Stay tuned for that next video. We hope you enjoyed. And as always, if you're in Boston, come by, visit the store on Newbury Street, or check out our website, which is open 24 hours a day at www.shrevecrumpandlow.com.